Would you risk your life just to see a view? For some travelers, the answer is a definite yes. Today, we're journeying to the world's most inaccessible places. Destinations so remote, so challenging, that just getting there is an epic adventure in itself. These aren't your typical vacation spots. Forget comfy resorts and easy flights. We're talking about treks through dense jungles, voyages across stormy seas, and climbs up treacherous mountains. Are you ready to explore the edges of the earth? Let's go. Our first stop takes us to the heart of the Himalayas, to a place that feels like it's straight out of a fantasy novel. Welcome to the Kingdom of Bhutan. Tucked away between India and China, Bhutan is famous for its gross national happiness index, but it's also notoriously difficult to get into. The government strictly limits the number of tourists to preserve its unique culture and pristine environment. To visit, you must book through a licensed Bhutanese tour operator and pay a daily fee, which can be several $100s. This fee covers your accommodation, food, guide, and transportation. But the real challenge is the journey itself. Paro Airport, Bhutan's only international airport, is considered one of the most dangerous in the world. Nestled deep in a valley surrounded by towering 18,000-foot peaks, pilots have to navigate sharp, winding turns with no radar to guide them. Only a handful of specially trained pilots are certified to land here. Once you're on the ground, the adventure continues. The most iconic landmark is the Tiger's Nest Monastery, or Paro Taksem. This sacred site clings to a sheer cliff face, 3,000 feet above the valley floor. To reach it, you have to undertake a demanding 4 to 5 hour hike uphill. The path is steep and the air is thin, but the reward is breathtaking. The monastery complex, with its golden roofs and fluttering prayer flags, seems to float among the clouds. The spiritual energy here is palpable. It's a place that demands effort, but repays it with a profound sense of peace and awe. Next, let's venture from the mountains to the middle of the Pacific Ocean, to a place so isolated it's almost off the map entirely. Pitcairn Island is one of the most remote inhabited islands in the world. It's a tiny speck of land, just 2 square miles, with a population of around 50 people, most of whom are descendants of the famous mutineers from HMS Bounty. Getting to Pitcairn is a true modern-day odyssey. There's no airport, no harbor for large ships. The only way to get there is by sea, on a supply vessel that makes the journey from French Polynesia just a few times a year. The voyage itself takes over 30 hours across the open ocean, often through rough waters. Once you arrive, you can't just dock. You have to be transferred from the supply ship to one of the island's longboats, which then expertly navigates the surge to bring you ashore at Bounty Bay. Life on Pitcairn is a step back in time. There are no hotels. Visitors stay with local families, sharing meals and daily life. The island is rugged and beautiful, with dramatic cliffs, lush vegetation, and crystal clear waters perfect for diving. You can explore caves, hike to Christian's Cave where the lead mutineer Fletcher Christian supposedly hid, and even see the anchor of the HMS Bounty. Visiting Pitcairn is not just a trip. It's an immersion into a unique and resilient community, a living piece of maritime history isolated from the rest of the world. Now, let's trade the warm Pacific for the icy wilderness of the Arctic. We're heading to Iditarod in Greenland. Try saying that 3 times fast. This is one of the most remote settlements on the planet. Located on the eastern coast of Greenland, it's a tiny town of colorful houses surrounded by a vast, frozen landscape. The population hovers around 350 people. For 9 months of the year, the sea ice makes it impossible for ships to reach the town, cutting it off from the outside world almost completely. The only way in during this time is by helicopter from a nearby airport, which itself only has flights from Iceland a couple of times a week, and they're often canceled due to weather. Life here is dictated by the seasons and the harsh Arctic environment. The locals are primarily hunters, relying on seals, muskoxen, and polar bears for survival. just as their ancestors did for centuries. For visitors, Idakor-Tourmit is the gateway to the largest national park in the world, Northeast Greenland National Park. This is a place of raw, untamed beauty. You can go on dog sledding expeditions across endless glaciers, kayak among massive icebergs in the Scoresby Sund, the world's largest fjord system, and if you're lucky, witness the magical dance of the Northern Lights. This isn't a comfortable trip. The cold is extreme, and facilities are basic. But for those who brave the journey, it's an unforgettable encounter with nature at its most powerful and pristine. From the frozen north, we travel south, deep into the Amazon rainforest, to a place shrouded in mystery and legend, the Vale do Javari indigenous territory in Brazil. This area, roughly the size of Austria, is located on the border with Peru and is home to the highest concentration of uncontacted tribes in the world. It's a protected territory, and access is extremely restricted to protect the indigenous communities from outside diseases and cultural disruption. Getting here is practically impossible for the average traveler. Even researchers and government officials need special permits, and the journey is long and perilous. It involves flying to a remote outpost, followed by days or even weeks of travel by boat up winding, crocodile-infested rivers, deep into the heart of the jungle. The environment is one of the most biodiverse on Earth, but it's also one of the most dangerous. You're contending with venomous snakes, jaguars, and a host of tropical diseases. The tribes that live here have chosen to remain isolated, and their privacy is fiercely protected by law. While you can't actually visit their villages, the journey to the edge of this territory offers a glimpse into a world untouched by modernity. It's a stark reminder that even in our hyper-connected age, there are still pockets of humanity living in complete harmony with nature, worlds apart from our own. It's a place that represents the ultimate frontier of human exploration. Our final destination is a place so extreme, it's often compared to another planet. Welcome to the Danakil Depression in Ethiopia. Located in the Horn of Africa, this is officially one of the hottest, driest, and lowest places on Earth. Temperatures regularly soar above 120 degrees Fahrenheit or 50 degrees Celsius. The landscape is surreal and otherworldly. You'll find vast salt flats that stretch to the horizon, bubbling volcanoes, and hydrothermal fields that paint the ground in psychedelic shades of yellow, green, and orange. This alien-like scenery is created by a complex geological process where three tectonic plates are tearing apart. Reaching the Danakil Depression is a grueling expedition. There are no paved roads, only rough, dusty tracks through the desert. Travel is typically done in a convoy of 4x4 vehicles for safety, often accompanied by armed guards due to the proximity to the Eritrean border. You'll spend days driving through the scorching heat, sleeping in basic camps or under the stars. The highlights are spectacular. You can hike up to the rim of Erda Ale, one of the world's few continuously active lava lakes, and watch the mesmerizing glow of molten rock. You can also visit Dalo, a hydrothermal field with acidic hot springs and sulfurous mounds that look like something from a sci-fi movie. This journey is not for the faint of heart. It's physically demanding and pushes you to your limits, but it rewards you with sights that are truly unique in the world, a glimpse into the powerful geological forces that shape our planet. So there you have it, 5 of the most hard-to-reach destinations on Earth. From the spiritual heights of Bhutan to the remote isolation of Pitcairn, the frozen wilderness of Greenland, the hidden depths of the Amazon, and the alien landscapes of Ethiopia. These places remind us that our world is still full of mystery, adventure, and raw, untamed beauty. They challenge us, push our boundaries, and ultimately change our perspective on life. So which of these incredible journeys would you dare to take? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this adventure, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more explorations of our amazing world. See you on the next journey.